The Sunday school lesson for September 22nd, 2024 is Claiming the Treasures of the Past. Second Chronicles chapter 35, verses 1 through 6, and verses 16 through 19. Welcome, viewers and subscribers, to my channel. I am Audrey. If you are interested in knowing what happens before each Sunday school class, you are at the right place, because I will share the backstory, read the lesson text, and offer a brief lesson summary. The backstory takes us to the book of Second Chronicles. It was likely written around 430 BC by the prophet Ezra during the post-exilic period. Second Chronicles continues the historical account that began in First Chronicles and covers the period from King Solomon's reign to the start of the Babylonian captivity. In contrast to the books of Samuel and Kings, which focus on Israel and Judah, Chronicles highlights the southern kingdom of Judah. The story of Josiah, found in our lesson's background text, Second Chronicles chapter 34, verses 1 through chapter 35, verse 19, highlights King Josiah's reign, his zealous reforms, and a significant discovery, the book of the law. Josiah, the son of Amon, became king at age 8 after his father's assassination and showed remarkable devotion to God. In his 12th year of reign, he launched an extensive campaign of reforms, dismantling high places, wooden images, carved idols, and molded images throughout Judah and Jerusalem. Baal altars were torn down, incense altars were cut, and Asherah poles were smashed. In the 18th year of Josiah's reign, the priest Hezekiah found the book of the law during a time of repairs to the temple. After hearing it, Josiah initiated a nationwide revival and destroyed all remaining idols, altars, and sacred pillars. He reinstated Passover, and his reforms extended to several cities. Josiah's unwavering commitment to God serves as a model for all. The backstory ends here, and our lesson begins with the next slide. Verses 1 through 2. Josiah celebrated the Passover to the Lord in Jerusalem, and the Passover lamb was slaughtered on the 14th day of the first month. He appointed the priests to their duties and encouraged them in the service of the Lord's temple. Verse 3. He said to the Levites, who instructed all Israel and who had been consecrated to the Lord, "Put the sacred ark in the temple that Solomon, son of David, king of Israel, built. It is not to be carried about on your shoulders. Now serve the Lord your God and his people Israel." Verses 4 through 5. Prepare yourselves by families in your divisions, according to the instructions written by David, king of Israel, and by his son Solomon. Stand in the holy place with a group of Levites for each subdivision of the families of your fellow Israelites, the lay people. Verse 6. Slaughter the Passover lambs. Consecrate yourselves and prepare the lambs for your fellow Israelites, doing what the Lord commanded through Moses. Verses 16 through 17. So at that time, the entire service of the Lord was carried out for the celebration of the Passover and the offering of burnt offerings on the altar of the Lord, as King Josiah had ordered. The Israelites who were present celebrated the Passover at that time and observed the festival of unleavened bread for 7 days. Verses 18 through 19. The Passover had not been observed like this in Israel since the days of the prophet Samuel, and none of the kings of Israel had ever celebrated such a Passover as did Josiah with the priests, the Levites, and all Judah and Israel who were there with the people of Jerusalem. This Passover was celebrated in the 18th year of Josiah's reign. A brief summary. This would not be an ordinary Passover. Josiah knew that it had been many years since the nation had observed the celebration, and he wanted to keep the law. They killed the Passover lamb on the correct day given in the law of Moses, Exodus chapter 12, verse 6. Josiah set a schedule so that everything would be done decently and in order, according to the law of Moses. He also urged the priests to remember the importance of their task and to be faithful to the job for which they had been set apart. During the reign of King Jehoshaphat, Levites and priests, at his direction, went throughout Judah to teach the people using the book of the law. Now Josiah instructed them to put the sacred ark of the covenant back where it belonged, behind the veil that separated the holy place from the most holy place. Once the Levites carried the ark back into the temple, it was to rest there permanently, and they could attend to their appointed work. Josiah wanted all things done correctly, so he consulted the original instructions written by David and Solomon to organize the priests, Levites, and gatekeepers of the temple, chapter 8, verse 14, and so to serve every family by genealogy that came to this Passover. Slaughter the Passover lambs. The priests and Levites had specific instructions to follow for choosing and sacrificing each Passover lamb, and for how to consecrate themselves after each sacrifice, probably an ablution of the hands. The Levites also instructed the people how to observe the celebration properly. The musicians, the descendants of Asaph, remained in their places, as did the gatekeepers, since their fellow Levites made preparations for them too. They worked until all was finished in one day. This Passover celebration included not only the leaders and people of Judah, but also the remnant of Israel. 7 days had been set aside for the feast, the festival of unleavened bread, beginning with the killing of the paschal lamb. Both Kings and Chronicles report the fact that this Passover surpassed all previous ones, possibly due to the number of people in attendance and the way they carefully kept all the directions of the law. This Passover took place in Josiah's 18th year as king, when he was aged 26. Unknown to him, Josiah would only live 13 more years. Thank you so much for listening. Join me soon for the next backstory and more. Stay safe and may God bless. And remember, every Sunday at 1 o'clock Central Standard Time, I release a new video for the upcoming Sunday school lesson. Thank you for all that you do to help this channel grow, one viewer and one subscriber at a time. Stay safe and may God bless.